Here with UW La Crosse women's track and field coach Nick Davis as we preview the outdoor season. The Eagles will host the UW La Crosse Great River Rust Buster on Saturday, March 27th here at the stadium with 5 teams coming in. Coach, before we start and we review the indoor season, talk a little bit outdoor season, let's talk about the complex behind you. New field house being built, ready to start in fall of 2022 to open for at UW La Crosse. Just talk about how excited you are for that project going on.
I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, we're super excited. Every day we come out here, it's just a reminder that, you know, there are big things on the horizon for us. And we, you know, we take a lot of pride in the facilities that we have here, obviously hosting the state meet over the past 30 plus years. And, you know, we talk about it oftentimes with a lot of the people on the team who are from Wisconsin, and, you know, they had so much excitement when they were here. It's like the pinnacle of their high school career when they come to the state meet, and now they get to practice here every day. And now we're looking at this beautiful thing being built behind us. That'll just, you know, push our program further ahead than where we already are. And we're really excited. The recruiting, you know, from that standpoint, the recruits that we've been talking to, you know, and getting them excited about the facility. They're excited by the possibilities of, you know, having, you know, a full slate of indoor meets and things like that here at home. And you know, any way we can stick around UW La Crosse, it's fun for us. So
let's talk about the indoor season. You had a chance to compete in 5 different invitationals this year, going on the road. Of course, the conference championships were canceled, the national championships were canceled. Just talk about what you take away from that season, what you saw from your team from that indoor year.
I think, you know, what we talked about all year long is just the importance of opportunity and being present when that opportunity arises. And, you know, there was a point in time where we had no certainty whatsoever that we're going to even have an indoor season. And so for me, you know, as we were talking to the team and kind of getting them prepared for the possibilities of not having an indoor season and what that might look like, or, you know, if we do have an indoor season, it may not have a national championship. And eventually, obviously, we had the dual meets and then that last chance meet with no national championship. But what I saw from the team is just how dedicated, how focused they were throughout a very uncertain time. And I think, you know, we talked about it last week in terms of what that indoor season meant for our team moving forward. You know, looking back on it, it wasn't the indoor season that we wanted, but it was the indoor season that we needed. And I think what we've done as a team and how we've gelled and how we've all collectively gotten through this adversity, I think that we're more than prepared for what lies ahead for the outdoor season. You know, in terms of the performances, you know, you would think as a coach or, you know, just an outsider thinking about how much the training and all of that was kind of disjointed, and, you know, we had been training for a couple of weeks and then we got shut down for a little while and then came back and then the same thing happened again. It was a bit disjointed and a little bit difficult because the routine is so important to student athletes. But that being said, again, that common theme of just grit and like being able to get through adversity, you know, our performances were phenomenal over the course of the indoor season. Looking at the event group rankings over the course of the indoor season, we led the country in 6 events, and we were second in 2 others, and I think we're third in 2 others. And you know, being the top ranked team in the nation, you know, given that it was about 50%, still is impressive to me, and I'm very, very proud of what we were able to accomplish.
And Coach, how do you take that momentum from indoor season? You've had a couple weeks off here, but how do you take that momentum, shift it outdoors?
Well, we've had the theme for our team for the whole year, and it actually kind of started at the end of last year, you know, during the quarantine and everything. Our team theme this year is unfinished business, and so we've had, you know, we were at the national meet indoor last year in March, barely more than a year ago today. And we were there as the #1 ranked team in the country. Did our pre-meet shakeout and was sent home about 4 hours later after that. That was really tough. You know, that was a really difficult thing for our team and for all the student athletes that were involved. But we've made it our goal to use that as something to motivate us coming into outdoor. Again, focusing on the opportunities that we have ahead of us, focusing on honoring the teammates from last year who couldn't be here this year, whose careers were ended, after the pandemic hit. And I think what we see from the team is just a lot of purpose, a lot of focus on our purpose, and our purpose. We have our goals of winning conference and getting on that podium at nationals, but that's not our purpose. That's part of our journey. And so I think that motivation is there. It's something that you see on the track every single day at practice, and we'll see it tomorrow when it's raining and people just don't care. They're just loving it.
You talked a little bit about, but let's just kind of talk a little bit more about what you've seen from your team and maybe your upperclassmen in terms of how they've led through the fall, or in the fall and in the winter season, with testing and multiple buses and scheduling. You never knew, you could have gone to a meet and you don't know if they would have had issues on the other side. So just talk to kind of the mental preparedness too that you had to have the indoor season.
Yeah, we talk a lot about just being flexible, and just having contingency plans and knowing that, this is what it looks like on paper, but it's likely not going to go that way, because over the past year, hardly anything has. And again, I think it's incredible how the leadership within our team, and even down to the freshmen here, can you imagine this being your freshman year? Being stuck in your dorm and having to stand in the line to get food and then bring it back to your dorm, and like it's an incredible thing to see how well they've all dealt with it. And I think so much of it has to do with the upperclassmen, the leadership within our team. And I'll tell you, the coaches, our staff has been tremendous in keeping our athletes focused and giving them the time that they need, and prioritizing self-care and mental health and those sorts of things. And it's just been a complete team effort. But it's neat when you think about like being anxious about something that lies ahead or that uncertainty. All we got to do is look back behind us to see what we came from, and just see like how much we've dealt with and how much we've gotten past and how much stronger we are because of it. So it's exciting.
Talk a little about your event groups going into this outdoor season. Your strengths, where you see your successes are going to come, and just your balance throughout all the events.
Yeah, great question. I think the thing that's really unique about our team is that we have a lot of depth, and not just at the conference level, but even what I hope is at the national level. We look toward, from indoor to outdoor, some of the events change. We add a couple long throws. So now we have the hammer, the discus, the javelin, and our throws group is incredibly strong, especially in the hammer. I think we have some really accomplished shot putters as it is. Right now we're getting a fifth-year senior back who wasn't competing indoor, Bree Shavink, so she should be joining Sky Digman and others who have those two have qualified in the past in the shot put, but Digman is qualified in the discus in the past, and I think we have other people that are capable of it. Our hammer group is, I think we have 13 women throwing the hammer, so it's going to be pretty fun to watch. And javelin is kind of new for a lot of people, so it's working through those things and learning and seeing where we can go with it. But I mean, that's going to be a big group for us. Our strength from the indoor season is definitely still going to be a strength for us outdoor, and that's in the sprints and hurdles. Hannah Zankovich, who was, I believe, in the top 3, as well as Emma Lawrence, who was in the top 3 of the country in the 60-meter hurdles. Now they get to come out and do the 100 hurdles. And Emma Lawrence is also a former national qualifier in the 400 hurdles her freshman year. So that hurdle group is going to be really strong. Our sprints group, Captain Savannah Rogevich, leading the way. We had the newcomer of the year from the indoor season, Emily DeWitowicz, who's run really fast in her high school career, and we expect great things from her. Allie Reavers was great. Kelly Aldrich, who's a qualifier, is great. Our 4x1 should be phenomenal. And looking at our long sprinters in the 2 and the 4, in the 4x4, looking at Emma Platzbecker, another captain coming back for her 5th year, wanting to finish it off on her own terms, which is awesome. She's going to be a part of that group, and Mara Schrader and all of those. We have a great longer sprint group too, long sprints group. The distance side of things, we add the steeplechase, and Emma Maluli was right on the edge last time we competed outdoor, right on the edge of qualifying for nationals. We have the 5 and the 10K, and every year somebody is a surprise, you know, because that's not an event that they run in high school. So we're really excited about what we have there. Again, it's that strength overall, depth, but high-end talent as well. And then in the jumps and multis, you know, we have a couple of people who have qualified again for nationals. Jess Stelzner is coming in as a triple jumper that qualified in, I think, the 4th time she ever did triple jump last year indoor, and then was, I think, 4th in the country this year indoor. So we're expecting big things, but we have some young talent in that area as well. So it's just all around. I think we have, you know, 2 of the top, I would say, 2 pole vaulters in the top 10, I believe it was, in the indoor season, and I think one was 3rd or 4th, Ashley O'Connell and Abby Meidel. I mean, it's just, we have good depth and high-end talent all across the board, so it's really exciting to see where that goes from here, because you know, I think we have a lot to accomplish, and we have a lot, our sights set on big things here.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the outdoor season.
You bet.